Hi everyone, welcome to Quancherbao Classroom. I'm Fang Yiqi. Today I'm going to show you how to hit a forehand against backspin. First thing, let's talk about your feet. Remember this, power starts from your feet. You need to push up from the ground to get power. Now, when you're getting ready to hit a backspin ball, your stance should be a little wider than when you hit topspin. For topspin, your feet are just a bit wider than your shoulders. For backspin, you stand even a little bit wider than that. This helps you really grip the ground with both feet. You'll feel more solid and stable. Next, the second thing are legs. Our legs are super important. The real source of power actually comes from your legs, and then it travels up to your hand. So, how should we use our legs? Let's take right-handed players as an example. You need to press down with your right leg. That's why, before you start your stroke, you've got to load your weight onto your right leg, and your right knee needs to be bent. If your leg is straight like this, you just can't generate any real power. You have to bend and store that energy. Think of it like charging up your right leg. Shift your whole body weight onto your right leg. Alright, the third thing is your waist and hips. As you're pressing down with your right leg, pull your right hip inward a bit. Then let your waist start rotating. If you feel your waist and hips can't rotate any further, like they're locked in place, that's perfect. That means your waist and hips are fully loaded. Now, some people don't feel that at all. Why? Because when they turn their waist, they also move their leg along with it. Once your leg turns, your waist and hips lose the load. You're just going with the motion, no real power. So remember, press down with the right leg and rotate your waist and hips. Don't let that right leg move. That way all the power can store up properly here in your hips. If you rotate from here and push off with the leg, then let your waist come out. You'll release that stored power from your waist and hips. Now let's talk about the arm position. During the backswing, after rotating your hips and waist, your arm should follow your body's rotation and stay naturally relaxed. Don't keep it too straight or too tense either. Both will affect your power transfer at contact. Find a balanced, relaxed position where you feel connected to your body. That's the sweet spot. After opening your arm, your fingers and wrist should also prepare slightly. There's a slight downward tilt in the wrist. This helps with the final contact, allowing full wrist rotation to create and adjust spin. If your wrist is stiff, even with strong body rotation, your power won't transfer well. It'll lack control. The final touch comes from your fingers, wrist, and racket angle to shape the spin and release your body's power. Now let's talk about the actual shot. What we've covered so far were just the basics of the hand motions, different parts of the body and how they move. Now let's focus on the shot. If you're going to attack, your contact point should either be high or descending. These 2 points are where you can really go forward and attack. At first, those are the points where you can make an effective offensive move. So what should your hands do in this situation? Well, if you're attacking, you want to feel like you're hitting with a topspin drive. Let me show you what I mean by topspin drive. It's a combination of impact and friction. First, there's the impact, the hit. You need to hit through the ball with force. That's how you release your energy properly. The topspin drive is about hitting the ball with that initial impact. Then as you hit, you add a quick friction with your fingers and wrist. That friction helps create the spin on the ball. So, in that moment when you make contact with the ball, you're adding friction with your fingers and wrist. That's how you generate the power and the spin, the arc of the ball. That's how the spin and curve come into play. Now let me show you some loop drive techniques. What I just explained was the loop drive, what we call attacking backspin. Now let's talk about how to execute a high arc loop lob. I recommend beginners or those still learning backspin Start with the high arc loop first. You need to learn how to counter the backspin from the incoming ball and create your own spin to get it over the net and onto the table. This is crucial to understand first. So start by practicing the high arc loop. The hitting point for the high lob is a bit different from the forward hitting point. For the forward point, it's typically at a high point or just a bit ahead, the point that comes after. When we do a high lob, we need to bring the ball down. Earlier, I talked about using body power and the feeling of it. When we do a high lob, it's the same. We still use our body's power. It's not like when doing a high lob, we stop using our body. Or like lifting the ball from bottom to top. No, we still use the body's power. But when we hit the ball, the focus is more on friction than on impact. Most of the time, when we hit the ball, it feels like, after the contact, our fingers and wrist have a slight lifting sensation. We need to pull the ball into our hands and create friction. This generates spin. Then, finally, through the body and forearm, we control the ball and create the arc. We make the arc a bit shorter. This will immediately create a nice arc. After the curve, it will drop. That's how we create the arc. And the feeling of the high lob. Let me demonstrate for you now. Watch my fingers and wrist as I touch the ball in that split second. I pull the ball in. I wrap it around the arc. I completely use my fingers. In an instant, there's a lifting, friction, and rotation feeling. I grab the ball. I generate power to create the arc. I'm still using body power too. But you can see that I'm pulling the ball slowly. I'm focusing all my power on the friction. I'm not letting the ball rush out. I'm making sure the arc is steady and controlled. This will increase the ball's consistency and stability. Whether it's for a forward stroke or a powerful hit, the final release of power and spin should come from the racket head. We cannot let the racket head stay trapped inside. If the wrist and fingers can't get out, you won't be able to release the spin, and your power won't be released either. So, whether it's for a forward stroke or a high lob, you must ensure your fingers, wrist, and racket head come through. So for those of you with basic skills, or for those who are just practicing the backspin, you need to first practice this high lob. Practice your ability to create an arc with your hand. Practice your ability to create friction with the ball. Once you understand how to counter the backspin's rotation, and you get a good grasp of it, you won't fear backspin anymore. Once you have this ability in your hands, you can apply it to either a forward stroke or a lob. You'll be able to use it freely. The key is to understand the rotation. Master that feeling of friction. What I just explained is the basic forehand technique, the principles of generating backspin with the body, and how the hands are used. As long as you understand the principles of using the waist, hips, legs, and body power, you can apply them to all forehand techniques.